Hey guys, Professor Bill here, Comic Book University, and I just got finished reading Mosaic. That's a brand new comic from Marvel. So clearly, Mosaic #1. This is boom. Look, most comic book companies, unless you're a brand new comic book company, don't make brand new characters, right? I mean, how long has Captain America and Superman and Wonder Woman, Batman, Spider-Man, how long have all these characters been in the comics for? I'm talking about forever. But the thing is that Marvel has been switching things up now. Thor is now a female, but it's a female who's already been there. Kamala Khan is a brand new Captain Marvel, but she's still got that same name. It's a fairly rare thing that we get a brand new, completely, entirely new character who, a different name and a different comic character name and a different costume and just everything altogether. This is not a new character coming in and taking over an old moniker. It's a brand new character, different powers, different everything. We've never seen this particular person before, although he does remind me of Deadman. But you know what? We're going to get into that. Morris Sackett. This guy is a basketball player, and a serious basketball player. Morris Sackett is the guy you love to hate, or the guy that you love so much that even though he's got absolutely horrific attributes about him, you know, his attitude and his demeanor towards other human beings, other life, you wind up making excuses for him because he's just so athletically gifted. We start off with the New York Strides versus the Brooklyn Garnets. Yeah, they're totally made up teams, but, you know, you don't want to hurt too many people's feelings. And the Stride is just 1 point behind, but that's okay because Morris Sackett is on the Stride, and he, of course, comes up and just does this incredible 2-point slam and blows everybody out of the water and wins the championship again for his team. Now, he goes up and gives this speech, and he's the MVP again, and just he badmouths the other players and says, yeah, I guess that they're on the team too, so I guess they should get rings also, but, you know, the MVP goes to me. Well, later on, when one of the team members who's drunk off his rocker at a party, he comes up to complain and say, how dare you treat us like that? Well, Morris very eloquently explains that this team was nothing, and you guys were being switched around, and coaches being switched around. You guys were a horrific team, and now it's something special because of me. I've been on the team for 5 years, and that's 5 years in a row that we've gotten championship rings, and all 5 of those years, I have been the MVP. So you know what? I'll say what I want, when I want, and to whom I want. And you know what? Can't really argue too much with that. But he is really a butthead, right? And this guy, he really is one of those hypocritical guys. He's one of those guys who will say something to the effect of, I only listen to 2 people in the world. Only 2 opinions matter to me. Of course, my own and that of my pops. But he still doesn't really listen to his pops. When his dad tells him, calm down, you know, it's good to be proud of what you did. You did amazing things, but you actually do need to calm down now and stop all this crazy hullabaloo. And, you know, you got to remember, we're trying to get endorsements here, the global endorsements. So you need to calm down and don't be so cocky when you go in to talk to some of these people. They'll cut you off just because. And he's trying to remind him, you know, try and get Tony Stark's approval, his endorsement. Remember, he doesn't drink, so keep that in mind when, you know, you're having that conversation with him. And really good advice, and he's just blowing it off. I thought that his opinion counted. Oh, well, whatever. You know what? I mean, how teenager is this? How young adult is this? How basketball and professional sports is this, right? These are the characters that we see on TV all the time, and now we got one in our comic books. But at the end of the day, the question remains, does he actually deserve all of those rings? And does he really deserve to be MVP? I mean, is he something special? He points out in here that there are 2 kinds of people in the world who win. They're the strivers, the people who go into the grind and they do everything they possibly can. They put in the work, they put in the hours, and that's just who they are. And they do win, sometimes, but they're hardly ever remembered. The other people in the world are the ones who just got it. Now, while I will be doing a multi-part feature on the Inhumans and several key Inhumans, for now, just like I explained in the Death of X comic last week, I'm going to explain that the Inhumans are even without the Terrigen Mist touching them and unlocking their powers, they are still naturally peak human abilities because of the Kree genetics inside of them. So any Inhuman is about equal to a Captain America. Maybe a little less, maybe just as much. There's still that room for variation. But Inhumans are incredibly powerful even without the Terrigen Mist ever touching them. So we have this character here, Morris, who's an Inhuman. Go figure. So did he really earn all those trophies by being an Inhuman? Now, he didn't know he was Inhuman, but it's one of those things that makes you wonder. So the Terrigen Mist comes to this party, this rooftop, and just as we can expect, he goes into his chrysalis state. He is now in a cocoon, and he will be in there for a couple of days or hours, whatever it is. And when he comes out, well, he does have this crazy girlfriend, current girlfriend, who kind of accidentally kills him by pushing him out the window when he comes out. He's all like, freaky energy body. And he falls into this dude named Fife. Maybe it's like Barney Fife. I think it's pronounced Fife. F-I-F-E. Fife, right? Not Fifi. So anyway, F-Man winds up having Morris enter him. Now, Morris isn't necessarily dead. He's just a spirit who's capable of... He never died, but he is able to go inside the bodies of others. Now, the way that they pull this off... Guys, this is some really incredible writing. Jeffrey Thorne is the writer for this comic. Boom. That's it. I'm in love. I'm in love. I want this guy writing all my comics from this point on. No, not really. But I do really like his writing style a lot. The way that he explains how the two minds merge, and then he leaves this mind and this body and goes into another body and merges with that mind, but he's still got some of that left, and it's slowly disappearing. It doesn't just instantly fade. At one point, he goes into the mind of a person who speaks 5-6 languages, something to that effect, and then goes into another body for at least a half an hour, and wow, he's still got some of the languages that this guy spoke. So he's able to read and communicate and understand things in those languages. And really good stuff. It says how it's fading, but he's still got some of it. Very interesting. I really like the way they're pulling this off. The writing is amazing. Carrie Randolph is the artist here. Boom. Fantastic. Oh, and by artist, they're suggesting that he's actually the penciler and the inker. Nice. Nice. Guys, I'm going to recommend this comic, though. Writing and the artwork together for these two, if they ever let these guys get away from Marvel, if Marvel ever allows them to go someplace else, I don't know what to say about the intelligence of the people here. Executive editor Nick Lowe talks about these guys on the last page, all the people who are involved in this, and I'm hyped, I'm excited, and I can't wait for 30 more days. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might go into my own chrysalis state, and I will wait for this new book to come out. Okay, it's not quite that good, but for all intents and purposes, guys, this is a double thumbs up book. I can't recommend enough to go out, get this book, read this. You're going to love it. This is going up in your collection. Mosaic, #1. Guys, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.